Hi, everybody. Welcome to Big Fish, Little Fish on a Wednesday. Hello, Craig. Wednesdays used to be boring, my friend. Not anymore because Alexandra Parker's on tonight.
Yeah, it's good, Michael. Good morning to you. Morning to the viewers as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a different aspect of the week, isn't it? Wednesday's normally a day you sit back and think I'm studying up for Thursday and Friday, but you've got to get a little bit adventurous and get going on Tuesday now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight, Michael. I actually think the fields are okay, and there's a couple of here that are at handy prices that we'll talk about.
It's a funny thing because we used to have the dates book, the TAB dates book, but of course you could throw that away once we came back from COVID. So I sort of half the time don't know when these meetings are on, and then I log on a Monday and I find out we've got Wednesday night harness racing, Craig, and it gets me out of the house. Something to look forward to. You and I did the meeting there 2 weeks ago. It was quite a good feel. It was very laid back, but it was quite a nice feel for a Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's happening, Michael, is I noticed first meeting I was back at the park for a long time last Wednesday, saw you there, was none of the young people. It was quite encouraging on a Wednesday night. Maybe it's a night where there's no training for your rugby or what you've got on, and obviously late nights Thursday and Friday for shopping. So maybe, I'm not saying it's a thing that we need to do regularly, but I think in the midwinters, a Wednesday maybe every fortnight, maybe for the month of July, is not the worst thing.
Yeah. Also, there's no rugby league on. It's really easy to park up on Thursday night and watch, the Broncos play Cronulla. Well, that'll be a good game. But yeah, to watch a better game. There's a good game on this week. Well, the Roosters are playing Thursday night. It'll be easy to watch that sort of stuff. But I think Wednesday finds a space for harness racing by itself. I'm not sure it's a good or a bad thing. I suppose the data will prove it. Anyway, if you're watching this, you want a winner. Craig, thought really interesting race tonight was race 8 because Tricky Rick beat Kenny's Dream and Credit Master last time, but they weren't fit. And he was. Back to 2,200 tonight. He's off 25. They're off 45. What do you think is enough ground at the start for Tricky Rick to beat them? He's got 20 metres on them. Is 20 metres enough? Because the bookies, quite surprisingly, don't have him as the favourite.
No, he's moved overnight. I think it's 450 or 460 on opening, Michael. He's about 380 as we're forming this now. And that's probably about the right price with him. What he's probably got is a couple of more race starts under his belt than the back markers. The likes of Kenny's Dream and Credit Master still are on the up and up. What I would say is I had a good look at Kenny's Dream go round last Wednesday night in its prelim, and I thought, gee, it's screwed down. It's not far away. And it raced very attractively, hit the line nicely. I thought it'll definitely benefit from the run. Bookmakers probably agreed, and they opened it up very short at 270, which was probably a slight unders. And with the money coming from Tricky Rick, you're probably going to get over $3 when they go to the post. So, interesting race, Michael. Didn't mind one at longer odds. Actually, spec one last night at $17 called Vatican Hill. Thought its run the other night. If you get a chance, go back on HRNZ, have a look at its last start. It was travelling at the 400-metre marker. St. Michel was in the trail. It didn't get it to the lane. It overreached and galloped on the bend when I thought it would have definitely got money. It's 2,200 metres this week, so it gets a chance. And I think Todd Mitchell picks up the drive. So if you look at one outside the square, we like to find something at a bit of longer odds. I think Vatican Hill's not the worst tonight.
Okay, there's 10 races tonight. The first goes at 5:26, but it's an amateur race. You can dial in around 6 o'clock if you want to have a bet. Interesting race, the last on the card, because Kelly's Delight's been so good coming back, and different horses come back into the fold and they start challenging her. But she's got race fitness on these horses. They gave over $2 last night. I was a little bit surprised. I thought she might even start at the favourites rolled home tonight, but maybe $1.80, $1.90.
Yeah, I think she'll be around that $2 mark, Michael. It's a race that, again, she maps to go forward. She likes to lead. She did that, beating a good field two starts ago. And then the standing start took away her advantage because she likes to roll, and she got back in the field on the cards, got round at the right time, and that was a different race. No on the cards here tonight. So, yeah, absolutely has to be top pick, but I'm just not convinced tonight it's a line-up and win. I haven't anchored or any of my multis tonight. I tell you what's very interesting, Michael, we've got a couple of seconds to talk about, is the Winsurance odds that the TAB are putting up at the moment, which is a market at the bottom of your fixed odds where you can have a horse that may open up at, say, $9 or $10, and you think, well, gee, this is a nice price. It may start shorter than that, may start at 7 or 6. Now, there is an option there to have it to run second or to third, and if it runs in the top 3, and you've backed it to win at that reduced odds, you'll get your money back. Now, you have to be very careful that you're taking one that you think is going to move in the market. And I think that's something that the TAB has been very proactive. And I think, as I say, if you did want to take something outside the square, a horse like Yorkshire in the last tonight, I think it posies up to Trail, Kelly's Delight, 950 fixed odds. You think, well, gee, it's the main danger. If it happened to get up the passing lane and won, I think it was like $6.50 to run in the top three. So you're getting that reduced odds. But if it runs top three and it doesn't win, you're getting your money back, Michael. Something I think's a good move by the TAB if you want to spec outside a favourite.
For me, I have no interest in doing that at normal odds. If I'm having my 100 on something and it's $7 and it gets beat, well, I lose $100. Where it's handy is this, multi-bets. Because the worst thing about having a multi is if you have 3 horses in a multi and the last one loses. But of course, because you're getting your money back, if your multi adds up to $4.40 plus this thing at $7 if it wins, or your money back, you still get the $4.40 back, Craig. So multing the horse as a insurance horse means that, yes, you get the big bonus if it happens to win. If it runs second or third, your multi is still alive because it pays back as a $1 unit. So that's insurance.
I agree with you, Michael. What I would say is the only advantage I will say is if you're betting early into the market, sometimes there's not a lot.
I agree with that. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
and if you can find something that you think is at $10, the bookmakers have it opened at $14, and you've got that chance of taking it for second and third, and you think, well, gee, it's a race in 2. If I get beaten, I'm going to get my money back, and it's probably going to close at $10 anyway. That's where I think the advantage is. So if you're good enough to sit down and do your shopping, maybe it's not the worst option.
Yep, I agree. A couple to run past you tonight. I thought there was a couple of early bets which were either good or could be good. Race 2, Kiyomi, really good last time, beaten by a nice enough horse. I thought if it led from barrier 1 tonight, I think it was 2.2 last night. It's actually pretty darn good.
Yeah, good filly. Race day experience is a big advantage because the main 2 dangers haven't got experience. I know the Tony Hurley pair, and both of them I think quite nice. One's a half to Field Marshal and the other's a full to Spanish Armada. So both of them got breeding. Of those 2, I fancy Chablis probably more than the other one. It's an interesting race, Michael, because you look at Kiyomi and you think, well, geez, it should just line up and win. Ran a good second last start. That race, I'm not sure that it ran second as a great form race because I think they ran a middle half at about 69. And See What a Delight just walked around. It made a move from the 800, got parked and maybe flattered it a little bit in defeat. But I know what you're saying. It should posse up on the speed. It's a race in 3, a race I haven't played into.
Okay, race 4 is interesting because last time we did this Big Fish, Little Fish for Alexandra Park, I quite liked Uncle Louis, and he actually stepped and then he galloped. But what you wouldn't have seen watching it on the videos because he was so far behind them was he actually trotted really well afterwards, and he made up probably 50 metres. He probably lost 100 and finished 50 behind them or something like that. I thought if he trotted all the way, it's not a strong race 4. I don't trust him 100%, but he's not an each-way bet. I just think race 4, Uncle Louis on the nose, and if he makes it around the first bend the way he trialled 3 weeks ago, he could probably win.
Yeah, he's a horse that's a bit like 2 or 3 others in the race, like Asteria Lava and Rasterburn, that they've all got ability. They've just got to do it right. There is one in here that I will tip you now that is a very, very good filly, and if she steps and trots, then I think she'll win. Ooh. Her name is Elegant Peak. She's trained by Brett Mangle. She was a former Murray Edmonds trained runner. She's had 2 trials in the north, both of them excellent. Last Friday, she won, poked up the passing lane. Big leggy filly by Peak, Michael. Have a look at her. She'll start from the unruly. I think she's a 5 or 6 win mare and would not surprise if she wins tonight. Very smart filly, Elegant Peak.
Okay, Elegant Peak and maybe Uncle Louis. You can take both of them, I suppose, because you get a chance to halve your dividend out of maybe $3 or $4. Interesting race 5. Couple of nice 2-year-olds came back from Ray Green's team recently, and I thought Ray's team looked like they needed a run last time out. I think they'll be big improvers for this evening. Captain Nemo versus Franco Nandor. That's race 5 tonight. As I said, I just think Ray's Lincoln Farms team's going to jump forward for this week and in the weeks heading forward. Any opinions on Nandor versus Nemo?
Well, I'm very surprised there's such a difference in the price, Michael, between the 2. One's $1.90 and one's $5. I actually put Captain Nemo on top on my line this morning to beat Franco Nandor, so I think he's backable at the $5. He actually finished in front of his stablemate last time they raced, albeit he had a better run. But he's a horse that I think he's taken a little bit longer to come up this time. Franco Nandor's been up and going a little bit earlier. They both went to the workouts on Friday. What I will tell you quickly, and the viewers, is he doesn't get round Franklin at all very well, Captain Nemo. So if you looked at that trial and thought, just so-so, he actually bobbled on the last bend. He balanced up and he got going again. I think Alexandra Park suits him a lot better. Zach Butcher takes the drive tonight. I think at the $5, we talked about the win insurance. I think he'll start around $3.60. I think the money will come for him versus the stablemate. So that gives you a chance to maybe play that top two option.
Race 4 tonight, Silk goes for 4 on end, which is remarkable for a horse coming out of lockdown. We'll see Steve Telfer is taking his sister Amanda into partnership in the new season, so congratulations to Amanda. Can Silk make it 4 on end for Alicia Harrison, who I think is one of the better young junior drivers in the country?
Certainly has the gate speed to go forward, Michael. She's a mare that we were tipping at the start of the lockdown when we came back as a mare that would win them in a row. And she disappointed first up, but she hasn't put a foot wrong since. And the key to her is to find the front and to roll, because I think she's a far different horse when she's allowed her own tactics. My biggest problem with her tonight, Michael, is it's a very, very quick front row. When you look at what's drawn inside her with Happy Place, See What a Delight, Lagatha, Akarana Prince, they've all led their last 4. They're all looking for the right spot behind Silk, and they all